Hello everyone, my name is Aspire. Today, we are going to be reviewing the Halo 5 from Segotep or Segotep. I don't know why this name exists. It's a PC case made in China and I bought this case for 1500 Filipino pesos or 28 US dollars in a computer shop in my place. But you can buy this in Lazada for 3000 pesos in the Philippines. Now, I like this design of this case since it gives me this boxy feeling, yet a little gamer style case, and it looks cool with some small drawbacks to this case. Unboxing this PC case was okay, like original PC case would have, and the case can support ATX, micro ATX, and mini ATX motherboards. Looking at the case, and first, we can see a acrylic windowed side panel, which is tinted black a little. This is good for people who want to show off their components and just make their friends jealous, I guess. Then this side panel can be removed after you unscrew the thumb screws, which are removable. On the front, I love the design since it looks like it's been meshified with a dust filter built in, but it's gonna be hard when cleaning it because you can't remove it, which is sad. But the optical drive cover has a sound dampening built in to silence the PC, but remember that when installing this optical drive, you lose the sound dampening, which means your PC can be a little bit louder. On top of the case, it has a magnetic dust filter to cover the interior from dust and can support two 120mm fans. Pretty nice for exhaust fans or radiators. The I/O has power and reset buttons, the power and hard drive LED, two USB 2.0 and a single 3.0 port, and a mic and headphone jack. But when removing the front panel, the I/O is built into the front panel, so be careful when removing since it might break the PCB of the I/O, and the front supports two 120mm fans. Looking at the bottom, and we can see an SSD mount and a power supply dust filter, which is fiddly to remove, but installing it back is easy. Looking at the back, we have the power supply mount on the bottom. Then we have 7 PCI slots, 1 removable PCI cover, and 6 PCI covers, which must be removed by using a screwdriver and your hand. And the back case can support 120mm fans from up and down depending on your preference. Opening the windowed side panel, and we can see a PSU shroud with fan mounts, which only support two 120mm fans. We have a SSD mount on front and 5 holes for routing cables with another hole on top for fans and CPU cable, and 3 holes on the bottom for easy cable routing for front panel connectors. There is a pre-installed standoffs, but you can get more in this bag with a lot of screws and does have 6 long screws for radiators if you want to install them. And the case can support a height of 160mm of CPU cooler clearance. Opening the back, and we can see a drive cage which is not removable and requires a short power supply because it may conflict one of the drive cages. So be aware when buying power supplies that are long since it can't be mounted, unless you can remove the drive cage by modifying drilling the rivets on the cage or cutting the side for longer PSUs. Going back to the drive cage, and the cage can support up to 3 hard drives with a SSD mount at the bottom, which I said a while ago. When installing the hard drive, you just slide the drive in and screw the drive by using 2 screws, and the third mount for the hard drive is on the top of the fan mount on the shroud. The problem when installing the 2 hard drives is you have to install them first before mounting your power supply, and it gets worse if you want to get a hard drive out because you had removed the power supply first before removing the screws. We have a SSD mount on the back of the motherboard with 2 cable tie points at the bottom. Then there's more cable tie points for easier cable management, and a CPU cutout for easy CPU cooler installation. Now this case has a clearance issue and a red flag, which is the optical drive. The optical drive in this case can support 2 drives, but the front panel only supports 1 optical drive, and it looks weird since there is more room for a second drive or a third 120mm fan. The clearance issue is that when I installed a DVD drive on the case, and I noticed that it has a small tiny conflict on the motherboard, so gotta be careful when installing since it might short or ground the board, I guess, depending on the width clearance on your DVD or any drive for your optical bay. After migrating my PC parts to the new PC case with a new SSD for my OS, I had to say the build looks pretty cool. I installed 4 Aurora LED fans on the front, to the back, and the top of the case for better airflow. I'm using my B350 M-A Micro ATX motherboard and my GTX 1050 from ASUS with a Ryzen 3 1300X and 8 gigs of DDR4 memory. The power supply I'm using is the Silverstone 550 watt power supply because it's small and can fit easily in the shroud. But because this is non-modular, I had a hard time on cable management, as you can see here. I mounted my Samsung Evo 860 SSD on the front and installed my DVD drive on the optical bay. So the positives on the PC case are good, because it has dust filters, acrylic windowed side panel, pre-installed standoffs, and many holes for easy cable routing. The negatives on the PC case is the front panel filter is built in, which is hard for cleaning, and the power supply dust filter is fiddly to remove. Then the clearance issue of the optical drive to the motherboard and the 1 drive bay available instead of 2. That's not good, because it leaves an empty space for a drive or a fan mount. And the last, which is the lack of rubber grommets for a cleaner look on the PC. So I'm giving this case a 4 out of 5 star rating. So thank you for watching this review. I do want to hear your thoughts on this case, and if you enjoy my review, you can like my video, but if you don't, go dislike it. Subscribe to my channel for more reviews. For that, I'm gonna end the video now, and I'll see you guys in the next review or video. Goodbye.